Hello, my name is Toi Puliu, and this is my presentation on basic operations of a mini excavator. First, I want to ask the question of why is it important that we're very efficient in the way that we operate with our basic skills, and there's a couple answers to that question. The main and probably the first answer would be safety. Anytime someone is operating a piece of equipment, the safety of themselves, their fellow co-workers, and to be able to prevent the destruction of property is always rest with the operator. Secondly, it would be important to remain very efficient and be efficient in the way that a person moves in order to be able to move the most material or to complete their task as fast as possible, but in the best interest of safety. So first, we're just going to kind of review our personal protective equipment, what we're going to use when we're operating. And the first thing that we're going to put on is going to be our hard hat. Let's check our hard hat. Hard hat looks pretty good, so that's going to be the first thing. And even though we're going to be operating inside of an enclosed cab, it's always good that we wear eye protection too. For the reason of when the bucket is digging, sometimes there's material that can come back at a high velocity, and in some cases even break the glass or plexiglass that encloses the cab. So we're also going to wear our eye protection. It's not a fashion statement by any means, but it will protect our eyes from any kind of material that may come back at us. And then next we're going to wear our safety vest, and that is going to make sure that ensure that we're more visible to our co-workers, that whenever we move we're wearing our construction yellow that kind of catches the eye a little bit better. And then last but not least, we're going to wear our construction boots. And I have my construction boots on. I guess you might have to just take my word for that, but I got my construction boots on, and it's very important that we wear good work boots when we're out there to give us good support and to be able to protect our feet from any kind of heavy equipment or heavy things that we may be bumping into. Okay. So just as a quick review, that's our PPE that we need to wear, and in the video where we're going to be operating, I will have those on. Okay. So next, let's go ahead and jump straight into the operation. Always, 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 the first thing that we do before we're going to operate, and of course this is assuming that we've already done our pre-trip walk around, we've already done our engine startup procedures, and our engine is warm. So what we're doing now is fixing to go in and start operating the machine, start our operations part. So the first thing we're going to do, always, always, always put on our seatbelt. Our seatbelt is what keeps us safe, it keeps us strapped in, it keeps us from potentially making any wrong movements with the piece of equipment. So the first thing we're always going to do is put our safety belt on. Next, when we mount or get into the cab of the machine, as we're getting on the machine, we're always going to make sure that we use 3 or 4 points of contact. Okay? Point of contact is defined as either one hand or 1 foot. So as long as I have 2 feet and 1 hand, that's considered 3 points of contact, and that's good. If I have 2 hands and 1 foot, even if I'm in motion, as long as I have those 3 points of contact minimum, then I'm following procedure. Okay, the optimal points of contact would be 4, where I'm holding on with both hands and have both feet on the machine. Okay, even at a point, if I'm able to stand on the machine and maintain balance, I'm still at all times supposed to maintain 3 or 4 points of contact. So we're getting onto the cab. We've maintained our 3 points of contact. We've fastened our seat belt. Now we look down, and we're going to start talking about what the joysticks do to operate. So we have 2 main joysticks. We have a left joystick and a right joystick. Okay, and this is going to be top view, looking down at the joysticks. So we got joystick here and a joystick here. Okay. We'll call this one joystick. L for left and R for right. Okay? When we start putting the equipment into motion, we want to raise our boom first. Okay? If we look at my wonderful illustration here, this is our boom. And we want to move this part first. If we were to move the stick or the bucket first, it would probably bind up those hydraulics pretty bad and put a lot of undue pressure on there. So the first thing we're going to do is raise our boom. And that's going to be done by moving our left joystick directly back. So our boom is operated in the left hand. This is boom up. Okay? Now the opposite is true also. If we were to push that stick forward, we would be pushing the boom down. Okay? So our left joystick back is boom up, and the opposite is true, which means forward would be boom down. So that's this portion of our excavator here. Boom up, boom down. Okay? Next, it's still on our left joystick. We can rotate our cab left or right. So this is actually going to spin or rotate the cab on its axis on center. Is moving the joystick left or right. So if we would move left, cab rotates left. If we move it right, the opposite is true. Cab rotates right. So we're able to have 4 motions, all on one joystick. Cab rotation left, cab rotation right, boom up, and boom down. Okay? So if we have another joystick, then we're capable of 4 other motions. Now if we take our joystick and move it back, this is going to move our stick of the bucket. This is our boom, this is our cab, and this is called the stick. Okay? It will move it in what we relate to either out or in. So by bringing my right joystick back, I'm going to be pulling my stick in. So the joystick back movement is stick in. So what did we say before? If that's true, then the opposite is true as well. So if I move my joystick forward, I'm going to be moving my stick out. Okay? And last is the left and right motion of the right joystick, which is going to be our bucket. And the motion that it is considered to be rolled. So we're either going to roll our bucket in, which is moving it to the left, or roll our bucket out. Okay? So, just a quick recap. We want to make sure that we're keeping our fellow co-workers and ourselves safe. That's our primary objective. And we're going to use our hard hat, our safety glasses, and our safety vest. When we mount the machine, we're going to mount it properly by either using 3 or 4 points of contact, 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand at minimum at all times. The first thing we're going to do is fasten our seatbelt the moment we get in there. And then we will operate, and our joysticks were as follows. Cab rotation left and right on the left joystick. Our boom will be moved back left. If we move it back, it will boom up. If we move it forward, it will boom down. And then following that is our right joystick. And if we move our joystick back, we'll be pulling our stick in. If we move it forward, the opposite is true also. Our stick will go out. And if we move it to the left, we'll roll our bucket in. And we move it to the right, it will roll our bucket out. Again, I want to stress the fact that safety is an integral part of our our lesson plan every time we teach a lesson, and those are the primary objectives of this lesson, is to make sure that we're safe. So in the following lesson, what you're going to see very shortly in the next lesson, the next video, is an actual operation following all the steps and procedures with all the proper personal protective equipment on.